Welcome to my channel. It's another video. I'm going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs because I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan for a while. I'm going to be talking about why I think that the Chiefs will go undefeated and why I think that we'll have a three-peat this season. And also I want to do like an album review. It's like a hip hop or an R&B album review in the future and just talk about music. So starting off with the first topic, they have a decent schedule in the second half of the season. So we're facing the 49ers next. We have the Raiders and then the Bucks. If you're looking at the next three matches, the 49ers are 3-3. Their defense is strong. It's not as good as it was in years past. Their quarterback play isn't as good as it was in years past. The whole team I just think clicked better the past few years. It's still early just to say, but I think that at this time of the video and just at the time that we're playing them, I think that we're better, and I think that we'll beat them. We'll end up beating them in this upcoming match. The Raiders, they're always been there in the division. I don't think that they're that tough of a match. So I think that we'll beat the Raiders. The Bucks I like the quarterback play, and I like the head coach Todd Bowles. I don't think that we'll lose to the Bucks. It's the NFL, so we can lose to like any of these teams. So like I wouldn't write anyone off, but I'm just saying like I would be shocked if we lost to the Bucks. But I think that we'll take that one. Then we have the Broncos, the Bills, and the Panthers. The Broncos are 4-3 at the time of this. The Broncos they honestly look better than they were in recent years, and I like what Sean Payton's building. Now they have a rookie quarterback, so like it's good with the bad. So it's like he has a ceiling and he's gonna have good games, but then also there'll be like growing pains. So I think that we'll beat the Broncos. I do like their defense, and I do like what they're doing with Pat Surtain. Then after that would be the Bills and the Panthers. I think that the Bills will be the toughest match that we have for the rest of the season. It's a toss up between the Bills and the Texans, but I think that the Bills is a tougher match because the Bills have played us tougher in years past. Like if you go back to like the divisional round a few years ago with the 13 seconds, or if you want to look at last year's where the Kadarius Toney play where it got called off and he scored and he's offsides, or just even when it came down to the missing field goal, like they've always played us tough. They do beat us in the regular season, but I think that we'll take it this time in the postseason. And I do think we'll take it this time in the regular season. My bad, and in this upcoming match. But if it does come to the postseason, I think we'll beat them there without a doubt. But I think I think we have a good chance of being undefeated, and I think that'll be our toughest match, and I think that we can beat them. The Panthers, I think that's an easy match. Like really, there's not that much to say. It's the Panthers. We'll probably beat them. The Raiders again, the Chargers, and then the Browns. So I already said the Raiders that will beat them. The Chargers was a tough match earlier in the season because that's when Rashee Rice got injured. He was looking good. He was looking like one of the best receivers in the league that he could be. In that match, we were missing Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt stepped in. We had Rashee Rice out, Hollywood Brown out since the preseason. So we had some we didn't have like all the additions that we have now, but we had some good additions and just to help and just to overcome it. But overall that was a close match, and the Chargers did play well, but we were missing more crucial players than they were. The Browns, I was a fan of Deshaun Watson back in Houston, but obviously he's not the same player that he was now, and the team is clearly struggling. So I think that we'll beat the Browns. And then the Texans, which I said would be a toss-up between the toughest match between that and the Bills. I think that we'll beat the Texans because the Texans really I think the Bills will be a tougher match because they've had a winning culture for years. They've already won their division 4 straight years. It's looking like it'll probably be 5. So it's like they already had the culture. The Texans are good and they are trending and they're already getting better, and they might have a better roster than the Bills. But I don't think that we'll end up losing to the Texans. I just don't see it happening. I don't think that they have enough experience to beat us. Even though it is a regular season, I just don't think that they'll beat us. The Steelers and the Broncos. I'm a fan of Mike Tomlin, and I think TJ Watt is a toss-up between the best offensive player in the league, him and Myles Garrett. So and their quarterback play is better than it has been in recent years, but I don't think that we'll lose to the Steelers, even though they are good and they do look better than they have. But they're always typically good. It's 17 straight winning seasons. But and Pat's historically just played well against them in the past, so I think that we'll get the win over the Steelers. And then the Broncos again. I think we'll win that to end of the year. We'll probably be resting some players, but I think we'll be up. Patrick Mahomes will get the lead, and then we'll win it to end of the year. They look strong when adversity hits, injuries, fatigue, and just overcoming their bad plays. So just overcoming bad play would just be like when Pat's just throwing picks or just making not smart decisions, and then when it comes to the fourth quarter, like when adversity hits because it's just piled up because we just haven't been playing the best, we still win those situations. Like look at Nick Bolton, like one-on-one in Bijan in Atlanta against Bijan just to win the game, or just Pat when he hits Rashee Rice when like clearly that had a strong chance of being a catch because he's like he's known for being like a sure-handed receiver. I think he's one of the most sure-handed receivers in the league. Like his best trait is just his hands, Rashee Rice. So I think that they had a great chance of catching that, and if he doesn't get a pass interference, he would have caught it regardless. But like we still won the game, and then that set up the game-winning field goal. And then just injuries, the injuries that hit us, we've overcome them. We were able to plug and play players from free agency, or just like look at Kareem Hunt, for example, who was on the Browns for like the past 5 years, and Juju went to the Patriots, who had a good season with us and won a Super Bowl and was a key player, but now comes back, has 130 yards. Kareem Hunt has over 100 yards from scrimmage, just plays well overall. It's just these players are just they come in and they just play, and they never left. And I think we're just great at overcoming those situations. We have the momentum of already winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Most teams, when they win one, they get tired. They get I don't know, Super Bowl hangover almost for like a winning team because they've already won one, and then they don't really like, it's hard to win two. Like it's not the same. Like, and then everyone's already building their team to beat you. Your division's already ready to play you. So it's like, I think we already overcame that. You saw us like have our struggles last season, but we overcame that. We won back to back. So now we're chasing 3, and like, what more would you want when a player like Pat said that he's chasing Brady, he's chasing the greatest quarterback, greatest player of all time, and his goal is to be the greatest player of all time. So what would be better than having 3 Super Bowls in a row, a three-peat, and then an undefeated season on top of that. And then also like Taylor's basically on the team because she's dating Travis. So I think that is great for us. And then I think that will also help add momentum and fuel to the fire, make Kelsey find like the fountain of youth. I don't think he's aging. I don't think he's aged out. I think Kelsey's still going to be great, and he still has great plays left in him. I think that we were just trying to try something new with receivers and just try to save his better play for the postseason, and just try to get the receiving game core going, because we didn't get it going. We were focused on using Trav last season, so now maybe this time we get it going, and then we have all the receivers and we don't need to worry about drops. But I think that's what Andy was trying to do, but I think we're fine in that department. They have just said that the best quarterback in the league, and it's not close. That's basically what I was saying. But just to say it like this, what I think he's the best quarterback in the league. It's not close. I don't think any quarterback playing right now is as good as him. Like, you're entitled to your own opinion, but I don't know who would disagree with that, because like no quarterback right now has a resume to compete with Pat. If you want to say Aaron does, then sure, but like Aaron's not the player that he was in past years, obviously, and he's not as good as Pat is right now, of course not. So I think he's a top 3 quarterback of all time, and it's a toss-up between him and Peyton Manning. We have a championship defense. I think that we have a great defense. I like Chris Jones, Brian Cook, Justin Reed, Trent McDuffie, Leo Chanel, Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil. I like our defense as a whole, and I like the linebacking core. I like the cornerback room. I like the front 4. I think that we can cover for days, and then we also have the front 4 to get there, even if they can't cover or just whatever happens. Jalen Watson was a 7th round pick. We've hit on our draft picks, so it's like he's a 7th rounder. Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th rounder. Trent McDuffie was a 1st rounder. Not all 1st rounders are always meant to be great, but we turned him into a great corner. L'Jarius Sneed helped with that. So it's just stuff like that. If you look at if you just look at like the whole team, they were basically, the whole defense was like a part of the Tyreek Hill trade, because Miami gave us all their picks, and with those picks we drafted a great team, and we hit on all those players. So the Tyreek trade is probably the best thing that ever happened to us, in a sense. Like, we could end up getting him back, and who knows? I think we will trade for a receiver. I'm not saying we will get back Tyreek, but I think we will trade for a receiver just to help, just because like clearly Rashee Rice is out for the year. That's the news. And just to go back to the championship defense, I like our defense. I think it's a top 3 defense. I think it's a top 3 defense. It's not 2 or 3. I would say it's the best defense in the whole league. And I would not rather have a better defense like on our team. Like, I wouldn't pick the Steelers defense. I wouldn't pick the Falcons defense. I wouldn't pick like any great elite defense right now over us, or the Bears or anything. I think I like our defense, and I think that we just have the championship DNA. Like, when adversity or time hits, like, no one's better than us. If we need to stop, we'll get it, because Chris Jones will be right there, or we'll make a play, and Spags will dial up something. We're always there. It's like we're always there at the biggest moment. So like, that's what I like about our defense, and that's what I like about the whole team. And that's the video. Peace out.